Hello, welcome back. So today's video is about steps 4, 5 and 6 of the Big Leap process. Step 4 is the big belief.
The big belief.
Step 5 is the big baddie.
Scary, really scary in the dark.
And step 6
That's the big low.
In this video, we're going to be joined once again by our fabulous big leapers who are going to give you some tips, some useful feedback and some general advice on how to make the big leap in your life. I hope you enjoy it. See you soon.
Big belief.
3 years into running my own business, setting it up on my own, struggling initially, I got this fantastic opportunity to present my own TV show. Who would have believed it? When I was made redundant, 3 years before that, I left a company with pretty much a patchwork quilt for a CV, not a lot of experience in any kind of depth in any particular area, and I just remember leaving the office and going, watch this space, one day I'll be famous. And everyone kind of smiled sweetly and thought, yeah, whatever. And I was just like, who am I kidding? And then, if you'd said to me then that, don't worry, in 3 years' time, you'll be fronting your own, national television show, prime time, I would have said, how on earth am I going to make that happen? But I did. And I didn't know how it happened, it just happened because I was following my dream and I really believed in what I was doing, I really believed in myself, and I knew that something would come good. I knew that even though I had, sky-high debts, that one day I would be able to pay those off. And I just never let go of that fact. I didn't know how or the why or the where, but I just knew that it would come good, and it did. And when that happens, it is so fantastic. You really feel that it's all worth it. And I just say to so many people I meet every single day who are like, oh, I'd love to have done this, I'm like, just do it, because the feeling you get when you cross to the other side, and it's just so wonderful. You just think, at least I'm alive, at least I'm living, and you know what, even if it doesn't work out, at least you've tried. At least you can say, hey, I've done something with my life.
I'd been sitting in my office for 2-3 weeks and I'd had a phone installed, but it never rung. And it was the most frustrating thing. It wasn't only me, it was everyone. The tension was building up. And then the call came through. And what amazed me is, despite the fact I tried hard with several new people and several opportunities that I had from my previous work, it came from completely out of the blue. Someone I wouldn't have even expected to give it to me. And that was a great moment.
So there was after I've been writing for a while, I realised I really enjoyed writing. I used to get up in the morning and get my laptop out and sip a cappuccino, listen to some music, and just love writing. And so I realised at this point, I think I can actually do this. I think I can write a book. And then the moment of test was when we came to the deadline that I had to meet, and I worked till it was pretty much done. I worked till I think 4 o'clock in the morning to finish this first draft and send it in complete with all my kind of notes about what we needed doing. And I knew I'd done it. I'd written 60,000 words of my first ever book, and that was pretty amazing. It was worth going without sleep to achieve.
It's scary, really scary in the dark.
For me, the biggest challenges that I came up against was isolation. It's all very well, you've got the big idea, you're fired up, you're motivated, but it's all down to you. And it's down to you on your own, day in, day out. And I found that really, really hard, to keep myself motivated every single day when you've got a voice in your head that's going, you're a failure, you've always been a failure, why would it be any different? Who you kidding? You're never going to make it, this is all wrong. It's just, they're constantly there. And you know what? They never go away. I'm 10 years down since I first started my business, and they're still there. And you get a little bit better at managing them, and some days are great, and other days, you have a little wobble, but you perhaps get a lot stronger at going, okay, I'm just having a wobble today, and tomorrow I'll be better, as opposed to letting them completely take over. But there were times when I first started out when they did take over, and I just literally would have a bit of a meltdown for a few days and, just give up, watch DVDs, go out with a friend, and just not try and do too much or be wonderful. I just kind of copped out on life for a little bit, and then I'd come through that and I go, actually, you know what? I'm okay, I can do this. That was really the hardest thing for me, is to just keep going on a day-to-day basis saying, okay, there's a voice in my head saying, you're silly, this is a crazy idea, who you're kidding. And I'll go, okay, I hear you, but you know what, tomorrow I'm going to say, go away, because I know I can do it.
In my first 6 months of trading, I'd only earned £3,500, and that was quite a tough ordeal considering what I'd come back from when I used to be in advertising in national newspapers. And it was one of those internal feelings that how am I going to support family, what have I done, why have I done it, and more to the point, where's the escape route? And that was tough.
And one of the lows was when I realised I was slipping, I was in serious danger of not making the deadline. And what I did was, at one point I realised I needed to work out how long this book was going to take to write, and I just didn't know how long it took to write 50, 60,000 words. And what I did was I took a simple sum of how many words I had left to write, how many weeks I had left, and when I divided one by the other, I realised that I would have to finish 2,000 words or 3,000 words a day, which is something I don't think I'd even done up to that point on any day. And I was really worried that I had completely messed it up at that point.
Big low.
The big low and the real low for me was when I was down to the last £100 in my bank balance, and on top of that had minus thousands as well. But I literally ran out of money, and it was like, okay, well, this is all very well to have this fabulous idea and this, big dream, but I've got to survive. I didn't even have money to buy food, never mind pay my mortgage. So I moved out of my flat, and I ended up staying with friends for about a year, and I would just move every couple of weeks, and had my my entire house in my car, and just kind of ran my business from there. And while I was in this process, I just woke up one day, I thought, you know what, this sucks. Who am I kidding? Why am I doing this? Why am I making my life so miserable? How is this fantastic? How is this the big wonderful dream? I can't even afford to live in my own flat. This is dreadful. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to get a job. I can't do this anymore. It's just too hard, too miserable, and I just can't see how this is a better way of life. And as I was on the internet searching for jobs, a friend of mine called me, and I was just having a moan to her about, oh, life's so hard, and when is it going to happen? It's never going to happen. You know what? I'm done. I'm just going to get a job. And at that precise moment, an email came into my inbox, and it was from this production company saying, we've got this series called 10 Years Younger, and we just want to know if you'd be interested in presenting it.
I think one of the most difficult things that happens, and used to happen quite regularly, was the well-meaning people. You used to meet up with them, ex-colleagues, friends, family, and they turn around and they say, are you pleased you did it? And although that's a genuine question by people, it actually comes across, certainly if you're feeling any sort of self-doubt anyway, or should I have done it? And it was always one of those things that sort of I battled inside when people did it. And now, people still ask that question, but it doesn't have that same effect.
So, a bit of a low point was I'd handed in the manuscript, the first draft, waiting to hear the feedback, and the publisher sent me an email, said it looks good, it's on the right track, but then included 3 pages of things that needed to change. Structure and connecting things together and things she just didn't understand, it didn't make sense to her. And it was just, I think it took me about 24 hours before I could even reply to her.
So, I hope you enjoyed that video and you found it useful and inspiring. We've done 4, 5 and 6 of the Big Leap process, and we've got one last step to go. So the next video is going to be all about how to do step 7, how to make the big leap. Join us soon.